Well guys, we officially have made it back to the shop. We got our beautiful drive lines unloaded. It's time to put these girls in here and see how they fit. I think what we're gonna do first is put this one in. We're gonna have to build a bracket right here to hold that carrier bearing. So yeah, let's do it.
Starting to get more water away.
Yep.
I can't.
Hold on, Kevin.
All right.
Got it?
Yep.
All right, here we go. All right, tell you what. Hold that right there.
Okay.
Let's use this lift axle to our advantage.
Rotate it.
So,
Okay.
all right guys, we got this drive shaft in here, and there's a lot that goes to putting a drive shaft in. Your angles and your phasing are the two most important things. I'm not going to go into a bunch of details about it, but if this U-joint is running at a certain angle, it puts a pulse into this shaft. That U-joint has to be running at an equal angle to take it back out. The other thing when it comes to phasing is the caps. You have this cap is lined up with that cap, and they'll be vice versa going that way. So after checking all that, and there's a lot of good videos out there on YouTube and the internet about all that, so if you guys got more details, go check them out. I understand it all. I know what needs to be done, but I'm not the best guy to explain it to you. So anyways, we got that all sorted out, and what we have decided, what would have been ideal would have been to have that carrier bearing back here, but that would have meant me buying another $1,000 to $1,200 drive shaft. By putting the carrier bearing out here, hopefully I can save that money and it don't kill me having that short shaft there. Ideally, if you guys heard Scott, on a split shaft like this, ideally it'd be a 60-40, 60% of the length here, 40% there, or more like 70-30. It's just a little rougher on that rear prop shaft, only in the articulated position. 90% of the time this truck's running, it's gonna be in a straight line, so I think we'll be fine. And keep in mind, that was the exact same situation we had here. So we're not asking that back shaft to do anything different than it did before. But what that does is it means we got to build a bracket to come out and hold this carrier bearing. And we've got it all mocked up over there. That's what Aaron's welding now. Let him finish getting that welded up. And we'll get that bracket in there. And then hopefully that back shaft will fit. And oh yeah, we're looking good. All right, so we got, whoa, easy now. Got this piece bolted on there. We went ahead and welded the ends of all these up. Oh, we did, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Welded the ends of all those up. Just trying to keep all the crap, I don't know how it's the road grime out of there. Doing what most engineers should do, but don't do. Not creating voids. Anyways, I'm on a rant. I got off on a rant. I'm back on track. So, we got the center line marked on this. We got a center line marked on that. I think we're gonna get this tacked on there first. Then we'll get this centered up on here like so. And then hopefully that'll stay put. If you guys think something looks a little bit skewed, it probably does. This lift axle, these U-bolts aren't tight right here. So after we get this drive line set, we can rotate that lift axle and slide it left or right to center it up, which should give us more clearance like on that slack adjuster there. So All signs point to this is going to work flawless. Let's find out. Okay, so I don't have no way to do it this way unless you want to run that level across there. See what I'm saying? I can get you this way, good. Gosh, oh, head up.
Oh man, did you get the level?
That was a disaster.
Nope, no cracks.
Level's right there. A little warmer than I anticipated.
I don't think that warm.
I don't think you need a level. I think you need a straight edge is what I'm saying.
Oh, straight edge out there.
That's good right there. You're cut square, so I can't see my center line. Yep, you're good.
All right, like it?
Yep.
Eyeballs.
Yep. Oh, my finger's stuck. Ooh, that is good there. Make it stay.
Is it good out on the end?
Mm-hmm.
Is it?
That don't
Oh
matter.
yeah, it ain't gonna matter, is it?
Go down.
Yep. Uh-oh. We have a problem. We're gonna have to take her loose.
No, yeah, we're gonna have to take this loose and go ahead and rotate it. If we do that, it'll get us. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I can do there?
Drop them.
Yeah, I can You clear?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Alright, come back around. Okay.
Now,
12 and a half. That's 12 and a half. There ain't nothing saying that's centered though. Well, is that center line following the center line of that drive shaft? Can you tell?
I mean, it is real close, but it looks like it, as far as lining up with the other one, it needs to go that way a lot. This needs to go that way a lot to line up with that other one.
Well, they need to be equally offset.
Are you?
I don't care about lining up with that. I want to be in the center of this.
Oh, in the center of that? We're about dead nuts.
You see, if that's an offset angle, you got to have equal angles.
Yeah,
So I can't move this one over to line up with that one because it throws that angle off.
yeah.
So is this the center of the tube, I guess is the question.
Yeah, it's real close. To me, it looks like maybe it went just a hair too much that way.
Oop. What were you up there on your measurements, like 12 and a quarter, 12 and a half?
I was 16 up on this
You
end.
going to the center or where were you going?
Yeah, I was going to the center. That center bolt.
14 and a half to the center. Yeah, it needs to come back toward me about a quarter inch.
Okay.
Oh, right in there. Okay, now where is that plastic square? Right here, all right. So it needs to go that way a little bit. Tag it.
Like it?
Yep.
Eyeballs.
Yep.
Hold that. Okay, check it again.
Looks good.
Now that's stacked off.
Okay. Does she spin freely? It's amazing how wide open this frame rail was, and we just keep stacking
Yeah, I
stuff
know.
in here.
It keeps getting tighter and tighter. All right, see what it does.
Like one extremely heavy duty drive shaft. All right, we got our carrier bearing bracket in there. I think that'll work. Aaron's putting some final welds on that. While he's doing that, I'm gonna try to do this the easy way. I'm gonna grab this with a crane, and we're gonna try to get this back drive shaft in. Hope she fits.
Yeah, better.
Okay. Check that out. Drive shafts in. Our offset angles look spot on. We're canceling each other out. Looks good this way. I don't foresee any issues, man, behind the scenes. We know the lift axle is going to clear, and we know we can make a few adjustments on that to give us even more clearance. I think we need to articulate this suspension and just see what it looks like before we call it good. What do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
In theory, this drive shaft should not know anything's different, because that should represent where it used to be attached to up there. So I don't think the truck will ever notice it was stretched. How could it? All right, you want to articulate up first?
Yep.
Man, behind the scenes, I am very pleasantly surprised with that. That is not a very steep angle at all.
That's not thought it was gonna be.
Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, you compare this to what this back drive shaft's doing. I mean, that's an extreme angle right there.
Yeah.
And this right here, slip yoke looks good. Dare I ask the question? Do we start it up and let out on the clutch?
I want to pretty bad.
All right, you talked me into it. That didn't quite work because the truck is 6-wheel drive, and it's stuck in 6-wheel drive because we don't have the airline hooked up to it. So
it did move though.
It did move. It moved like 3 inches. All right, so I say we go down with that, and we go up on the rear one, articulate it the other way, and see what we got.
Okay.
Man, behind the scenes, I am absolutely thrilled with that. Thrilled with it. That is, I don't see anything extreme about any of those working angles. I mean, that's nothing compared to what we're doing back there on the back. I love it, man. I love it. I think old Scott down there sent us in the right direction. He nailed it.
Yeah, he did.
And saved me $1,000.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. All right, I think we're gonna set this thing back down level. The last thing, let me walk around here to the other side. The last thing we have got to figure out is these airbag pedestal mount spacing doohickey and thingamabobs majiggers. Did I cover it with all that?
Yeah, you did.
We got to figure out that mess from here to there. From here to there, we got the that's everything's really pretty and tied up, except for that. We'll figure it out.
We stopped yesterday.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I ain't scared. Gotta get that, and we gotta get that axle tweaked and centered. And whoo,
Get closer.
we're about ready for a bed. Todd, where's my bed? Yeah, we gotta paint a lot of work, but still.
Yeah.
All right, let's figure it out. All right, guys, get ready for Redneck Engineering 101, because this is some of its finest right here. Okay, so see if you guys can follow along on me. This position, this lift axle in, the trailing arm is actually down 3 to 4 inches farther than what it should be. Now, the reasons for that is I'm trying to build this thing as universal as possible. If I end up going with shorter wheels here or bigger wheels there, I'm trying to find a happy medium, and we were also limited on how far we can space it down from the frame. Now, disadvantage of that is it is going to take more airbag pressure to do what we need to do because of that angle and fully inflated. But it's just what my pea brain is trying to tell me needs to happen. So what we are doing to make this work is I'll show you here. Get Mr. Man behind the scenes in his nice little cozy home there.
It's
so
I didn't have this drive shaft from the way a while ago.
So the angle on that right there is 19 degrees, somewhere there's abouts. So we need to space that up approximately about 6 inches. And if I was to raise this up, it would change that angle about 9 degrees. So basically what we did is we cut us a spacer with a 9-degree angle on the bottom of it. We're gonna weld that spacer on there like so. And then we got us a new airbag adapter plate down there below. You could make a good man of white, you know that? Then we'll take this, put it on there like that. Airbag bolts to this. That should get us the spacing to the frame. It should allow us to at least have 6 inches of ground clearance on the lift axle. I don't know. There's a lot of angles and thoughts and engineering going into that, but I think it would work. Worst case scenario, if we do completely reworking the tires and the drivetrain on this truck, I think all we'd have to do is cut that spacer out and change it. I'm committed enough to tack it in there and try. What do you think?
I'm gonna put littler tacks on it.
Yeah. Our first spacer, we did a square 4-inch because we were trying to match that up there. Yeah, that was a massive fail. But we learned a lot, and then the learning got us to this. So Let's tack this in there and see what we end up with. All right, Aaron's got that tacked off. I've got myself a little regulator and an air hose hooked up here. I believe we're going to raise that up and try to figure out where that airbag needs to be mounted for a happy medium, and then we'll kind of actuate it and see if it works. You've built yourself quite the jungle gym in there, haven't you?
Yeah, it's a lot easier without them drive shafts, carrier bearing in there. The C-clamp though, did you throw that away or?
No. Why would I throw it away? It's, you know what I think I did with it? Possibly put it up.
Really?
You believe that?
That's a shocker.
I hope I did. I'm talking big here.
Game changer there.
I learned from Scott today. Oh, nope, fail. I didn't put it up. It's out somewhere. Oh, yeah, I put it right here. It's just, you know, normal people reach.
Yeah.
We could have got that, you know, short people reach. All right, let's air it up. All right, going up. Ready?
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah, you're good.
pretty good right there. Now, I think we need to slide this back a little ways.
Okay.
Otherwise, we're going to be in trouble when we go.
Yeah.
And I like the way that's looking, though. All right, you ready?
Yep.
In there somewhere.
Right there.
Yep. Well, I'll tell you, let's put it right there where it wants to be. See what it does.
All right, let's see if that'll hold.
You ready?
Yep.
See, that's showing it needs to go back.
The whole bracket go back.
Yeah,
Can you cut?
yeah, let me just see if I can't take a hammer here.
Oh. Yeah.
I like that right there. I like that a lot. Once you put air in that bag, see what it does as far as putting pressure down on
Okay. Ready?
the. Yep. Ooh, a little more. Oh. Come off of it. All right, let me go. Let me go up on mine now.
Okay.
All right, guys, this would probably work, but Aaron and I think we can do better. Our angle's good. Our placement's off just a little bit. We need to be 1.5 inches taller. So we're gonna redo it one more time just because we want to make her. Just because we want to make her right. So Aaron's gonna cut that off. I'm gonna cut one more 1.5 inches taller. I think we'll have her. He's all excited because he's got 6,000 subscribers over today.
Well, yeah. That's a big step.
Yeah, it is a big step. That's like one more than 5,999. All right, I'm gonna go back to sawing. He's gonna do that. We're getting her. We are getting her. All right, guys, attempt 3. Redneck engineering prevailed. I think we nailed it. 7.5 inches, 9-degree angle, 2 3/4 placement. It works like that's better than factory. Hendrickson is going to want to hire us to retrofit. They're probably, if somebody from Hendrickson's watching this, they're probably going to kill us. But I am confident. I am more than confident. I am certain that has covered all the bases. And all we need to do is weld her off. That is a thing of absolute beauty right there. We got one thing left to do on this lift axle, and I think we're good. Reading in the instructions over there, basically these U-bolts are loose. So we got to shift this axle left and right to make sure it's centered on the truck. And then we need to rotate it so it clears those slack adjusters. It clears them now, but if we rotate it, we can gain more clearance. I like more clearance. More clearance means more off-roading. So, yeah, not it for going underneath and loosening U-bolts. You're shorter, you fit better.
I'm also more round.
Well, I call not it.
All right, where's the impact?
Oh, that's a great question. All right, let's round up some tools. I don't know if this is the most official measurement. This is what we're gonna do. It's 20 and 1/8 is what I am.
And I am 19 3/4.
So these go your way. You ready for this? We'll move.
I'm 20 and 16.
Oh, I thought I really went somewhere. All right, here we go. Oh.
Almost 20.
Oh.
Okay, you're right at 20 right there.
Right at 20 right there, he says. Hard to do with the camera. Oh, I got a ways to go yet. I'm just now at 22. So we need to go your way an inch.
Oh, yeah.
You ready?
Yep. You want an 8?
Are you serious? Ow.
I'm helping you.
Anything?
So, yeah, you got a 1/4 inch to go. About 1/8 inch.
1/8 inch?
Yep. 16.
All right, let me check my side now.
Got 1/4 to go yet on my side.
I'm 21 1/4.
I'm 20 3/4.
Okay, so we need to go 1/4 inch. You ready?
Yep. Nothing. Nothing.
Nothing?
Go again. Go again. Oh, hold that, hold that. Put you right on 21 right there on my side.
I am too, man. That's money. Money, baby. Okay, now I'm gonna crawl underneath. I love it. All right, so what I want to do now is I want to try and rotate this around a little bit. All right, so take a little more. I think that's good. I like it right there.
How much did you go?
Went quite a bit.
Did you? Okay. I mean, you needed to go quite a bit.
All right, so basically we got this all good. There's a big old long list of procedures in the book of how this is supposed to be welded off. True Aaron fashion, he thinks the book's wrong, so he's gonna do it his way. But what we're gonna do here now is Aaron's gonna get both sides tacked. We're gonna pull those U-joints up out of there, or U-bolts up out of there. That way he can weld that off and make her solid like she's supposed to be. But man, look at that. That's a thing of beauty up through there. That's some engineering at its finest. Pretty proud of that. I love it. Well, Mr. Man behind the scenes, I'll have to say I think that is redneck engineering at its finest.
You ask me, I think it's professional.
It is, man. I can't find any flaws with this. Trust me. If this truck has any problems from throwing drive shafts to crack frames or anything like that, you guys will be the first to know. But I'm pretty confident we're not going to have any of those videos.
No, I don't want to have any of them videos.
But Aaron's got that all tacked off. I did end up making some spacer blocks to go in here. There's still plenty to do. I think the next thing we may do is tackle building this cross member. I'm gonna get some plumbing started. But I think that's gonna be a wrap on this video, guys. We got everything tacked into place. Aaron's gonna cover welding everything off, including the actual welding procedures on his channel. So we're gonna turn him loose to the welder, let him go to town. I'm gonna read some plumbing schematics, possibly find a place to take a nap, and
I believe that.
go from there. So, but anyways, that's a wrap on this one. She's in there. She clears everything. I think she's gonna work. Time will tell, so time will tell. Thanks for watching, guys. As always, hope you enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment. We're getting pretty close to having this old girl on the road.